P.
Yes, a higher priority targets. I understand.
Okay.
You know why they're the higher priority targets, right?
Yes, because they broke their bail for terrorism.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna keep it.
Okay.
No, no, trust me. I completely understand. That's why I said everybody break off. Let's go to Polito.
Okay.
And Mr. Knight is a superior. He is a captain, and whatever he says, I'm gonna listen to it.
All right. We just wanted to main purpose of this is like we had an op that we were about to kick off, and then we saw the TRT one. So I think we may have had two separate ops like effectively going
at the same time.
At the same time. Yep. So we want to make sure everyone's
the first stop.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Me and Oxby were aware. We said let them do their thing. We redirected to Polito, given the information we had. But all said and done, I'd like to run it back, but do it with both squads running together this time. So
I agree. You let us know what you want to do. We'll get it done.
Here's what I'm thinking, and Oxby, I want you to kind of chime in on this too. Is
sure.
We were going to be running 2 UC units trying to track these individuals with TRT on standby with a target in mind. Once that target is acquired, in other words, vehicle description, etc., TRT mobilizes and makes that their prime. Makes that their priority. Any interference cars we don't give a shit about. It's going to be just that. Target that's named. In addition to that, TRT would be responsible for ensuring the safety of that UC unit. Captain Oxby over here is going to be monitoring the UC units on radio, but in the event that UC unit gets like compromised, let's say, TRT would come in for like extraction. Apprehension and security. Does that make sense?
Yep. But I want you, if it goes to like some kind of operation like how we're doing, I do want you leading it. The only thing that I would advise, oh shit. All right. They got a bunch out there. All right. The only thing I'd advise too, and I try to call it out as well. I want 4 people in Air 1 to try and get ahead. If you think they're going a certain direction, obviously your discretion. I trust your field leadership, Quangle, quite a lot. Feel free to call out Air 1 to get ahead of them and a hot drop or take a roof before they can get there. I don't want this to be a 3-hour holdout situation. I want us to be decisive, hit the shit, and just knock it out.
Yes, I agree 100%. That's what I try to do every time I lead one of these.
Hell yeah.
I will let you guys know. It happened the other day, and I heard it happen in the past. They like to, one of the spots they like to go to is the top of the Old City Vault, Pacific Standard Vault. And that one is
from 2 nights ago, the parachute one?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
And I heard before that they also did that one as well. I was actually there for both. I parachuted the first time, couldn't get them, and parachuted the second time, couldn't get them either.
I think that's kind of like why we're hoping that these UC units, typically 99% of our shit, whether it's a 24/7 or it's a Polito, it's literally running the same strats every time, right? Mm-hmm. They are, as are we. We don't need to do that. We want to go try to track them when they're by themselves, and we fucking jump them while we can. You know what I mean?
Catch them by surprise. I get that.
Exactly.
But the thing is, right, we also have to have probable cause for this, or reasonable suspicion, do we not? We can't just violate the rights. So we need to be able to identify them or identify their vehicles. And
that's going to be up to the UC units. The only UC that are going to be involved are very confident in that.
Okay.
So obviously we don't have stop to identify. Let me run back what the Polito situation, right? I want us, and this is kind of both departments, we need to start getting back to thinking like law enforcement again. And that means 2 things. Let me start with the negative, right? Miguel Almerian's vehicle, I don't think we had PC to detain his ass. And there is a danger that the moment that his vehicle is called out on radio, and I know it was like, we're going to monitor whatever, half those units aren't listening, right? And if we had gone for him, that could have been a problem unless we could pause ID him in Polito. As far as I'm aware, he was in the vicinity, but was never, tied back to Polito. However, in this case that we just dealt with, where we're chasing Zuck and who was the other one? OP?
It was Rick Morgan was the vehicle.
Right.
Again, the individual in the driver's seat was wearing a mask, but the vehicle came back to him, so we had enough reasonable suspicion to detain him, and he fled.
Correct. We had units going and looking to see where they were. If you noticed, you had Zuck come in to save OP. Now, keep in mind, Drake is like 2 times removed from the Hag warrant, right? He's a member of the besties, but you know, he's a nice guy and everything, but he ain't exactly like on our tier list of need to apprehend at the moment, unless he's moving.
I have one question though.
Go ahead.
Why is Carmine here?
Isn't that obvious,
Weren't you
Quangle?
two running the op earlier? Y'all two went up there.
Oh no, I ran my op. My op was successful, flying
Oh,
colors.
shit.
We apprehended Vidal. I was just giving some pointers, obviously. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think you
I
listened.
see.
You weren't listening, were you, Broccoli?
I'm
I told you
willing to
going
make a
fast, going
proposition
swift.
here.
Don't let him leave, and you fucked it. Okay,
How about
you fucked
Mr.
it.
Carmine? We put our differences aside for the greater good. How does that sound?
For your greater good. For your greater good. But you know what? I'm not averse to helping a officer in need like you. I could spare some of my expertise, show you how it's done and stuff.
Okay.
Thank you, Sid. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right.
A little bit of charity goes a long way. Maybe you turn into quite the officer after this.
I want us to start being a little bit smarter, right? When we got OP with Zuck being the only one that's showing up, it is beyond reasonable for us to believe that those other guys either actively committed crime or hiding somewhere away from law enforcement. And if we even suspect someone that they are involved with a active robbery, we should be taking that chance, right? I know there's questions over radio, and I know people, not everyone in the force is comfortable with making calls, and that's fine. But in that Polito robbery, if we believe that they might be inside and they're already robbing something, we should be using the full capacity of our minds to try to pick out if one of them is Manx or one of them is Forehead and go with that. We don't need to pause ID until they're apprehended. Does that make sense? Yes. And if you find that there are people in law enforcement that are getting confused with things like voice ID and masks and all this kind of shit and making up, what's the word? Playing mental gymnastics with themselves, send them our way and we'll try to explain those things to them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And when do you guys plan on having this UC unit to try and track them down?
We're going to do it in about 15 minutes. We're about to kick it off earlier. And like I said, I think both ops happen at the
You
same
guys got
time.
a designated channel just in case things go haywire? We just hop on that one?
Yeah.
So we keep it on 5, no?
All right. Yeah, that's perfect.
I actually wanted to have you in one of the interceptors as well on standby. That's just ready to go. You got something that's yoded, yeah?
Yes, now that you guys bring that up, I'm probably gonna call a meeting with all TRT operators, and I mean, would you guys like for me to inform them about what's going on Channel 5, or keep it a secret for right now?
I think it's better that the UC units are not told to everybody because let's be honest, someone says some dumb shit, it's gonna turn into a shit show. You know what I mean?
A firm.
Like Oxby's going to be Oxby and yourself are going to be the ones that are able to jump between the two.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We will call them in as soon as they're ready to get called in. And I'm going to let that be your call on the field. I'll be monitoring the UC. From there, I'll give you the nod, and then I want you to put together the TAC plan from there as far as the apprehension.
Yep, you just give me the primary target, and I'll get the team sorted.
100%. It's going to be 100% Aubrey Webster, and it's going to be Michael Manx. Those will be the two. Either one of them are going to be equivalent in priority. As soon as the UC gets positive ID of either of them, we'll give you a description. As I said, I have a general, at least for a QRF. I'll run this by you because I want you doing the actual call-in of it.
So
anything that you need as far as command approval, I'll be there for you on that.
Oh, shit.
But when it comes to the initial, the thought that I had is having 2 yoded or engine swapped interceptors ready to go to pursue to buy the time needed to get the additional units to pull them in.
Yeah, me and Bean are both in pretty good buffaloes with yoke. So.
Let me throw a slight alternative here. We don't even necessarily need Paul's ID, right? If we believe if we believe someone is Forehead or Michael Manx, and we can articulate the why, articulation's, important. Not like I've seen this guy like, actually articulated. If they get into a vehicle and even do a traffic infraction, TRT should be prepared, and like we should give that call. TRT mobilizes on standby nearby. You approach the driver, ask for a driver's license. If they don't present it and that target ends up driving off, we treat it with the 5. You get it apprehended and try to identify. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this pussy shit. You know what I mean?
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to, obviously, having a team already set together before any of that happens would save a lot of time.
100%. Like, have your men ready. If someone's dipping out, they tell you, you pull someone else in. So at a dime's notice, like 2 minutes, it's like you know where to go, and you're at that location. You know what I mean?
How about we get 2 additionals in Quangle that are not necessarily stationed and ready to go, but that they're on kind of like on that initial QRF, the quick reaction force for that, right?
Yeah,
that'll be good.
I got 2 perfect people for that.
Cool. Let's go ahead and do that then, and then we can tell them to get more or whatever it may be. Go ahead and delegate to them to get the rest of it as well, because I want your mind free to handle whatever's going on right then and there.
Do you know what a controlled traffic stop is? Quangle or Carmine? Is Carmine gonna be involved? I'm still confused here. Is he here? Like, is he part of the SOP or is he not?
If he wants to, we can. I mean, it's up to him.
All right. Do you know what a Quangle? Do you know what a controlled traffic stop is?
I have a slight sense of what it is, but not the entirety technical term. Go ahead.
I'm gonna explain it because this is a very we used to use this shit all the time. It's real good. So, TRT. Let's say, how many units are you planning on?
So I'm gonna tell you the team that I'm setting up. It's gonna be me, Bean, and McQuillan, and that's gonna be the primary squadron. And then I'm gonna have D and Spectre as like the second people on the outpost.
Then I'm gonna recommend Bean, because he's good with this shit, being the primary on the controlled traffic stop. Now, this is what a controlled traffic stop is. I'm gonna kind of like role play it out. Let's say we're trying to apprehend Carmine Costello, right? He's no longer a cop. We believe he's murdered someone. He's got a mask on, all right? He's talking with a funny voice, but this dumbass ended up using his own vehicle, right? Or alternatively, we had other information to believe that, Carmine with this, the individual is Carmine Costello. The UC unit is going to call him out, is going to call out the vehicle. The TRT would conduct a controlled traffic stop. What that means is you await Carmine to make a traffic infraction, thus creating probable cause for the stop. Given that he's the target and it's a traffic stop, he must provide a license. Given that it's Carmine and he ain't going to do it, that motherfucker's going to start running, and that's when the rest of the units come in. So you only would send in Bean and say yourself, or Bean and one other individual, to treat his detainment like a normal traffic stop. You know what I mean? For the running the red lights, for not yielding, something that you can stand on. And once they start fleeing, that's when you pop in. Does that make sense? What I'm describing there? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. Easy.
I don't think you understood, Brian.
I just said I understand.
Okay.
All right.
Pretty much you're just watching them, waiting for them to make a
what's-
mistake, and it's controlled. Like, what do you mean?
What's the controlled aspect of a Quangle?
Because you're
'Cause we
waiting
need-
for them to
listen,
make the mistake
if
that you know they're going to
this
make.
is
That's
gonna
the
be successful. We need to know that you know what the controlled aspect of this is. You know what the goal
told
is,
you.
right?
you're watching them from a distance, which you know they're going to make a traffic infraction. And you just wait for that to happen, which is the control part.
Yeah.
Because you're controlling it.
That controlled traffic infraction has to be a legitimate one, not some bullshit like if they're truly following it and you can't stand on business, right? They definitely, went not 1 mile over. I'm talking 10, 15 miles over. They ran red lights. You can stand on that. In fact, let them make 2 or 3 mistakes like traffic infractions before the pullover. Because if that PC flops, everything else goes to shit.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
isn't
mean?
it going to be, that's going to be on the people you see, though, because they're going to be the ones watching them.
No. The UC is going to identify the unit.
Where they're at.
Those
and
that are doing
follow.
the controlled traffic stop, which should be Bean and one other, go to the target and walk and hope that they do some traffic violations.
Okay, yes.
How
know
it's
what I
going to
mean?
work essentially is I'm going to be monitoring UC. They're going to give me a radio comm when they've ID'd the person they think it is, and then you're going to control stop them. I'm going to communicate to you, this is going to be the target. This is what you're going to do, right? And then you just execute the controlled traffic stop at that point.
A firm.
Yeah.
Just the perfect we wanted to speak to, Mr. B.
Alrighty. I just got a call from Maeve. She wants to keep applying the pressure.
Yeah, that's what we're
Beautiful.
doing.
That's what we were just discussing. We had two ops running pretty much simultaneously, the UC op on him and the TRT thing. We're now combining forces. Plan is we're going to have two UC units, right? TRT can keep doing its TRT thing, right? I don't want you guys like sitting on standby. However, the UC units are going to attempt to find Michael Manx or Forehead. If they believe that they have found a target, and that target does not need to be full identification of the individual, just we believe with high probability this is them. We will call in a controlled traffic stop from that apprehension unit. I want Bean, you, and one other person that Quangle picks to then go to that target, let's say in a vehicle, and let them make 2 or 3 traffic violations, conduct a traffic stop, see if they identify themselves. If they flee, TRT moves in. If they identify as one of the targets, TRT moves in. Does that make sense?
Confirm.
Okay, easy.
In case you missed it, Quangle's gonna explain what a controlled traffic stop is.
Is there ask me anything right now if there's any, like, even a little bit of confusion over this?
No, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Do you know what a
It's going to
controlled
be me, you, and
traffic stop
McQuillan.
is?
We're going to be the 3, and then we're going to have 2 on outposts, which is Spectre and D.
B, since you're going to be on point, your biggest thing here is making sure you got PC for that detainment.
And
Not
that's
5
gonna
miles an
be up
hour
to-
over. Not 5 miles an hour over, right? I want like 10, 15, something solid. Did they maybe run a red light? No, you need to be sure they ran a red light or 2. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, if they're illegally parked and then they drive away, you
step
can pull
outside,
them over.
Carmine.
All right, Brian.
See you later, Carmine.
All right.
By the way, you want a yap
step back
lock
in.
from Quangle. I
Step
don't know
back.
if you picked.
Now step back in.
Oh.
And lock in. All right.
All right.
All right. Okay, cool. I know this is some new shit, but this is something we got to start learning to deploy because this is let's do some real fucking PD work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, easy. Okay. All right. You want to get?
Now you're gonna be UC, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start prepping for that. I'll find a radio channel and shit, and while you guys do the rest, because it's gonna
You
take.
want my
take me a minute.
Buffalo? My
Sounds good.
fucking civilian one for UC?
Yes, please.
That'd be good,
sick.
yeah.
All right, let me go grab that for you guys.
Sounds good. All right. So, Gray, you're gonna be the other UC.
Chat, this is probably going to go sideways, and I recognize that, but that's okay, given the fact that I want people to start learning what this kind of shit is. We don't need to fucking
It's gonna
run
be up
20...
in, Sandy.
Okay.
Once my car gets repaired, we can go right up and grab it.
Hell yeah. Any luck yet, Akko, on the 6?
Oh, I just sold Stevie 6 sets, but yes, I can search you a full set of slicks for a rather fair price.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much.
I have one slick